You ready to start? You ready to start?
Yeah.
Your vocal exercises?
Yep, all good to go.
I'm here with Chris Fry for another installment of Science Alumni Day 2021. And to start off, Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
Yeah, so my name's Chris. I am a 2013 Norwin graduate. Throughout high school, I realized I liked working in the medical field. I actually became an EMT when I was 16. I did that over my summer vacation in my sophomore to junior year. And I really liked the field of medicine. So I went to Westmoreland County Community College for nursing school. And out of nursing school, I got a job at Allegheny Health Network working in a small community hospital in an ICU. And just almost 2 years now, I transitioned down to Allegheny General. I work in the trauma intensive care unit. So that's why I work full time. I also moonlight part time as a pre-hospital registered nurse for North Huntington EMS still. And I am currently enrolled in my master's degree for a master's degree in education and nursing.
Oh, that's exciting. I didn't know about that. You sprung that one on me there.
I start that. I just finished my bachelor's degree up this month, so I'll be starting that in spring.
That's exciting. Oh, there's so much stuff we already have a thing to talk about today, but there's so much stuff to unpack. The role of like community college and getting a nursing degree, getting further education, like once you've graduated with your employee, picking up the cost and things like.
Absolutely.
We could go in any direction, but we have a specific idea already today.
Yes.
And so our theme for today is going to be, I should start my timer here, is things people think you do as a nurse. And as I understand, so you asked some of you, and these are people that know you. These are like,
yes.
So like over the break, you asked family members, what is it you exactly think I do? Mm-hmm. And so what I've got is a collection of some of their responses, and I'll just let you respond to how accurate it is. The question being like, as a nurse in a hospital every day, what is it that people think you do versus what it is that you actually do? All right, so first one. All right, number one. It's like a game, like Family Feud or something. So, top three answers. All right, first one. You give pills and shots to people.
Absolutely, I do that. When people think of when you think of a nurse, what do you think of? And they're like, oh, that's the person that gives you a shot when you go to the doctors. That absolutely is true. Probably 70% of my day is actually giving medicines to people. Whether that's just a simple, hey, I have a headache, can you give me some Tylenol? Or in my ICU, I'm controlling life support medications. I'm controlling dialysis machines. I'm controlling ventilators. I'm controlling blood pressure medications. I have rows of IV pumps I'm constantly changing dosages on. So I do give people pills and give people shots, but there is a lot more to it than just popping a pill, Tylenol and giving it to them. Looking at medication effects and vital signs and blood works and constantly talking with doctors to make sure we give you the right medication and the right dosages at the right time.
And then also there's feedback from patients too, because some of it is at their discretion as well. So
absolutely.
Good communication skills all around.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So you'd say mostly true.
Mostly true. There's more to it.
Mostly true. All right. Excellent. All right. Yes. All right. Statement number two. Nurses are the people who take care of you when you're sick.
That is 100% true. It's more when you think of someone taking care of you when you're sick, when you're a kid, mom or grandma came in and, gave you a warm blanket, gave you a bowl of warm soup. Not quite for that perspective, but we are the ones, we're with you 24/7. The doctor's coming in and out, but we're with you. So we're the ones to give you your medications. We're the ones to, if we give you your food. Sometimes patients are so sick they can't eat. We are the ones who make sure you're clean. If you need cleaned up, we'll give you a bath. If you need therapy, if you suffered a fall and you broke your leg, we'll assist physical therapy with getting you moving, getting you stronger. So it's more than just mom giving you a bowl of soup when you were sick as a kid, but we are the ones that take care of you. Like that is the nurse's role. If you look up what a nurse does, it cares for sick people.
And we probably should say, again, there's like 100 different ways to be a nurse. Like your daily experience as a nurse in a hospital is very different than, say, a nurse in like in an outpatient clinic or so your perspective specifically from the emergency hospital environment, but in general, nurses are always concerned with helping take care of people. And so
they are. There is, from past science alumni events, we talk about all the different avenues of nursing you can go down. You can be a nurse and never touch a patient. You can work in informatics. There's nurses that assist police departments with investigations. You can be like a crime scene nurse, criminal investigative nurse. Like there's all kind of avenues you could go down. It's you always have a job.
Yeah, no, you don't hear many unemployed nurses, that's for sure. All right, excellent. All right, so number 3. So you'd say absolutely true, like 100%.
Absolutely.
All right. Statement number 3. Nurses are the people who tell doctors what's wrong with the patients.
That one came from my brother. So that is true. As I said, nurses are with the patients 24/7. Doctors diagnose the patients, right? They're the ones that come in and order the test, order the medications, interpret the test results, and say, this is what's wrong with you. This is how we're going to get you better. And the nurses are the ones that fulfill those orders. We're the ones that give you the medicines, give you the treatments. But as I said, we're with the patients 24/7. So when there's a change, when we're giving a medicine and it's working, we relay that information to the doctors. When it's not working, we give that information to the doctors. When something should be working and there is an adverse reaction, or it's not working well, or when there is a problem, good or bad, we relay that information to the doctors. And the other thing is, I've been a nurse for almost 4 years now. I work with a lot of brand new nurses, and I work with, in a level 1 hospital, we have a lot of resident physicians that are brand new. When you're brand new, coming right out of school, you have so much to learn. And having that experience, you can sometimes help even guide the doctors, like, hey, this is happening with this person. And they have a whole list of, okay, it could be this, could be this. You can kind of guide them like, hey, I know you're going through your list, but based on my past experience, I think this is what's actually going on.
So the doctors are spread out between so many different patients all throughout the day, and you guys are there on the ground, and through your observations and experiences, definitely you have the opportunity to provide feedback. Well, I mean, ultimately, the doctors are probably the ones that make the ultimate decisions as far as where the input goes. But invaluable eyes on the ground as far as what's going on, and so a role in observation and communication too. Truth scale on the truth scale, definitely
up towards the true side.
so not that the doctors don't have a good sense of what's wrong with the patients. You're there to give them the day by day.
We're there to tell them how their treatment's going. If it's going well, if it's not going well.
All right, that's good. All right, and just I don't want to go off on a tangent too far, and obviously no details, but I mean, have there been circumstances where a doctor has had a certain idea of what the plan of treatment would be, and then you're there on the ground and you're like, oh, you know what, I really don't think this is doing what the doctor thought he or she thought it was going to, and then what do? Do you communicate? Is there a procedure to communicate that back to the doctor with, or?
Yeah, so that happens more often than you would think. A lot of times especially me working in ICU, there could be anything wrong with you.
And ICU, again, real quick, is intensive care unit, right?
Intensive care unit, yes. So working in intensive care, when something happens or something's not going right, it could be anything. And we get doctors a lot of times, they'll say, hey, our patient won't wake up. We can't get, he's unconscious, he won't wake up. And they're like, oh, okay, well, it could be this, it could be this, it could be that. Let's go for, they like to order CT scans, and they're ordering EKGs and all this blood work. And I'm like, well, did we check a blood sugar on him? Like, maybe he's just blood sugar's low, they're diabetic. And it could be something as simple as that.
All right, so I got one more official one, and then it says, you hook up a bunch of machines to your patients and write down the numbers.
Again, that is true, but there's more to it. Some of our sickest patients in the ICU, we have them on the sickest patient I ever had. I had 15 different IV pumps of medications going into them. We have them on ventilators. We can have them on continuous dialysis. If you get some bad heart patients, you can have them on heart support, like balloon pumps. You may have heard of, with this whole COVID situation, you may have heard of patients requiring so much oxygen, they go on what's called Ecmo, which is when we oxygenate the blood outside of the body because your lungs just aren't working. There's a lot of machines that we can hook up to you, hence the term life support. And even though most of the machines the doctors will hook up to, if it's a chest tube or the ventilator, yeah, the doctors hook it up, but my job's to maintain it. My job is to, on a good day, my job's to write down the numbers and go, everything's going okay. On a bad day, my job's to go, hey, these numbers aren't matching up. And it's more than just writing, hey, this number's this. It's you have to know what those numbers represent and know if this, if this number's dropping, what do I do? Do I go tell the doctor? Can I give him medicine? Can I change something? So there's a lot of autonomy being an ICU nurse. There's a lot of protocols and things I can do, but then there's a lot of like, you look for fine changes. Sometimes we're writing numbers down every 15 minutes. Sometimes I only have one patient and I'm constantly looking at machines, changing medications. It may look like all I'm doing is turning knobs and pushing buttons, but really it's making those numbers to have the patient the best outcome and constant communication with the doctors.
And that's got to be a continual learning process too, in terms of making sure, I mean, probably even like, I bet you guys probably have like older versions of the same machine and newer versions of the same machine. And like, depending on which version that you're using, you get some nuances, and probably there's that one machine where, it's always a little goofy on this side of things. And so,
absolutely, yes.
keeping the technical side of it. So probably people didn't think, going into nursing would be such a high tech field, but you're going to have to be super comfortable with like tech savvy and stuff like that.
You do. And then you have to be prepared for when those machines malfunction. Mm-hmm. I always say, does a nurse know what to do if the ventilator stopped working? That's not something you really talk about in nursing school. The response is, you'll call the doctor. What are you going to do in the meantime until the doctor shows up? You could be coming from across the hospital, so just things like that. We have IV pumps, but what happens if the IV pump stops? Do nurses remember how to calculate drips by, manual pen and paper math, like in nursing school you're taught? So it's not only maintaining the machines, do you know how to react if something goes wrong?
No, that's a lot too. All right. Well, that's a true with qualifications.
Yes.
All right, then let's take a minute or two real quick. Now, these are all things that people, then when you say, what do you think I do? This is what they said. What are things that you never hear? Like the idea is like stuff that people don't know that you do that actually takes up a chunk of your time. Maybe one or two of those things, and we'll wrap up with that.
Yeah. So I said 70% of my job is giving medicines. The other like 25% is documentation. As I said, I write down numbers. It is so important to make sure we document stuff. The computer systems are so advanced, they're multi-million-dollar systems. So you plug stuff in and you can view them. And whether you're a doctor, whether you're the nurse, whether you're a registration, whether you're in the billing department, so everything's coded the same way. So we do a lot of documentation. But the other part of the job that no one really thinks about is all the others, I like to say, the hats we have to wear. If it's a Saturday and I'm looking to discharge a patient home, if social work's not there to set it up, we're there making phone calls to make sure if a patient needs oxygen at home or if a patient needs, a follow-up appointment in 2 weeks, we're there to schedule it. Weekends, physical therapy's not there. The nurses are the ones getting you up out of bed, walking you down the hallway, doing your exercises with you. So just all of those little kind of fine wheels that make a hospital run, a nurse has to be prepared to do in case someone's sick, we don't have something, something's happening down the hallway with another patient. You have to be prepared to wear any hat.
You got to be comfortable with the unexpected.
Yes.
So nice to pay attention to what everybody else is doing in case you have to pick it up for yourself there. Well, that is a lot to go through, Chris. I appreciate that. I think that gives us a really great overview of the nursing field in general. And again, as you said, lots of options to get into the nursing field. That is probably a talk for another time.
Absolutely.
But definitely lots of different routes for lots of different kind of people. And I appreciate your time, Chris. I know things are tough this time of year and given the current pandemic. And we on behalf of the Northern School District, we appreciate everything you guys are doing every day under extremely challenging circumstances to help keep North Huntington healthy.
Mm-hmm. Glad to be able to do this. I look forward to it every year.
Well, we're always happy to have you.